Representing Hinduism, we'd like to welcome Miss Monisha Batra.
For the benefit of the wider group, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here this afternoon. This symposium is successful because we have the audience here to listen to how different cultures come to the same concept of first mercy, peace, and tolerance. Hinduism, one of the oldest and the most diverse religions, is not merely a system of worship, rituals, but a rich and a deep philosophy of timeless wisdom of living a life of peace, harmony, and spiritual fulfillment. One of the most beautiful aspects of Hinduism is its non-exclusive faith. It's inclusive and recognizes the validity of different paths that we take to reach the divine. This is based on the understanding that everybody's spiritual journey is unique, and there is no one right way to experience the divine. The openness to diversity allows us individuals to follow our own paths based on our nature, abilities, and our personal experiences. The essence of Hinduism, ladies and gentlemen, is spiritual pluralism. The fact or recognition that there can be many different ways to lead to the same ultimate truth. This is beautifully captured by the idea that the divine can be approached in various different forms, whether through meditation, devotion, selfless service, or intellectual inquiry. Hinduism affirms that all paths, when taken with sincerity and respect for one another, are valid. In this way, Hinduism stands as a beacon of tolerance and acceptance, welcoming all people, regardless of the background, into its fold. This inclusive nature of Hinduism is also seen to embrace diverse beliefs. There is no one single book or definitive scripture in Hinduism, but rather a vast collection of books. The Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas, and the Upanishads, among many, offer wisdom in different ways, reflecting the multifaceted view of life. Hinduism doesn't conform or demand conformity, rather encourages individual exploration, respect for others' beliefs, and pursuit of spiritual knowledge. At the heart of Hinduism lies the concept of Brahman, the supreme, eternal, and all-encompassing reality that transcends all forms and dualities. Brahman is formless, eternal, infinite, and pervades every corner of the universe. This understanding of Brahman fosters a deep sense of interconnectedness among all living beings, encouraging tolerance, mercy, and spiritual knowledge. It's not just a metaphysical concept, it is a source of all creation and everything in the universe, from the smallest particles to the wide galaxy. It is seen as a manifestation of the divine essence. It is the recognition of this unity with the divine that Hinduism advocates for respect of all lives and the belief that all beings share in this diversity regardless of their religion, race, or background. Another essential element of Hinduism is the sacred sound Om, or Aum, which represents the cosmic vibration of the universe. Om is considered the primordial sound from which everything originates. It encapsulates the very essence of existence, symbolizing the creation, preservation, and dissolution. Chanting Om is a practice that connects individuals to the eternal reality of Brahman, helping them align with the consciousness with the divine presence. At the core of Hinduism lies Brahman, the divine essence, and Om, sacred sound that symbolizes the infinite, unmanifested of all creation. These ideas, ladies and gentlemen, are not abstract. They are practical guides to experiencing unity with the universe and living in harmony with the divine. One of the most powerful expressions which my friend earlier in the afternoon mentioned, which again resonates the inclusive nature of Hinduism, is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which translates to "this world is one family." This idea is deeply embedded in Hindu culture and speaks to the fundamental interconnectedness of all beings. In this philosophy, the world is seen as one global family, bound together by the divine, which pervades everything. Let's dive deeper into the understanding of the ultimate. Contrary to the popular understanding that the Hindus recognize one God, the gods of the Hindu faith represent different expressions of the Brahman. Different Hindu communities may have their own divinities to whom they worship, but these are simply different ways of approaching the ultimate. Predominantly, Hindus recognize three principal gods: Bhagwan Brahma, Bhagwan Vishnu, Bhagwan Mahesh or Shiva. Bhagwan Brahma is often referred to as the creator of the universe, Bhagwan Vishnu, the preserver of the universe, and Bhagwan Shiv, the destroyer. Before we dive deeper into tolerance, mercy, and compassion, it's essential to understand the four pillars that form the very foundation of Hindu ethics and spiritual practice. These pillars guide the Hindus to the journey of self-realization and the union with the divine. Those four pillars are dharma, karma, arth, and moksha. Dharma refers to the religious path or the moral duties that all individuals must follow. It encompasses the concepts of truth, justice, and love. Karma. The law of karma is a central concept of Hinduism and refers to the actions that we take and the subsequent consequences. Arth. Arth is pursuit of material prosperity and success, but in a righteous and balanced manner. And moksha, the ultimate goal of Hinduism and the attainment of moksha, which is the liberation from birth, death, and rebirth. Diving deeper into mercy in Hinduism. Mercy in Hinduism is about extending forgiveness, understanding, and love, even when faced with adversity. A powerful example that comes to my mind when I think of mercy is in the actions of Maharana Pratap, the great Rajput king. During one of the battles against the opponent, Maharana Pratap had the opportunity to kill an unarmed commander, but instead, he chose to spare him. This decision not only demonstrated his chivalry and compassion, showing that his sense of righteousness went way beyond mere victory. By sparing the unarmed commander's life, Maharana Pratap exhibited mercy, honoring the war code ethics and showing respect for life even in the middle of conflict. Compassion. Compassion is a natural extension of mercy. It is a value that is deeply ingrained in Hinduism. It is a practice of recognizing the suffering of others and taking actions in your means to alleviate them. It is through compassion that we embody the divine within us and serve selflessly and effortlessly. Shivaji Maharaj, during his military campaigns, displayed incredible compassion towards his people and soldiers. One striking example is when he offered shelter and care to the families of the soldiers who died in the battle. He recognized the sacrifices and ensured they were very well taken care of, showing that true leadership moves beyond strategy, moves beyond tactics, and protects the welfare of one's own people. Another most touching story from Ramayana is that of Shabari, a simple tribal woman whose love for Bhagwan Ram is pure and unwavering. Though the society deemed her to be untouchable, Bhagwan Ram humbly accepted the offering of the forest berries, tasting each one with gratitude. He did not seek caste, wealth, or culture. He saw the devotion of the heart and the purity of the soul. This vision of compassion that cuts through social divisions is the beating heart of Hinduism. We see it yet again in the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, when he called the marginalized Harijans the children of God. Inspired by the Bhagavad Gita and the Hindu values, Mahatma Gandhi's life was a living example of active compassion. In Hindu thought, compassion is also extended beyond humans, to animals, to rivers, to forests, and to mountains. Our sages taught us to see the earth, Prithvi Mata, as our mother, the cow, Gau Mata, as sacred, and even trees as homes for the divine. Such compassion makes us caretakers, not conquerors of the world around us. Finally, the most important, tolerance. Tolerance in Hinduism is rooted in the understanding that all beings are connected and all different paths relate to leading to the same ultimate truth. Tolerance is practiced when we acknowledge and respect different viewpoints, whether they be about religion, politics, or personal beliefs. Going back to the chapter of Shivaji Maharaj, he exemplified tolerance through his respect for religious diversity in the kingdom. While he was a devout Hindu, he welcomed people from all religions and treated them with respect. He employed them through various positions, the highest positions as well, emphasizing one very important thing, that the religion should not come in the way of contribution to the society. One crucial aspect of Hinduism is its long history of emphasizing defense rather than aggression in warfare. Hindus have historically never been the aggressors in wars. Instead, the religion teaches us that warfare is only acceptable if undertaken in defense, also of righteousness and justice. Both Maharana Pratap and Shivaji Maharaj fought to defend their land, their people and values, but never to seek to expand their territories out of their personal greed. Their battles revolved around preserving dharma, a concept I explained a few minutes earlier, and protecting their people from adversity. Their principles of defense rather than aggression are a direct reflection of the Hindu value ahimsa, or non-violence, and the fact that war should be the last resort, undertaken only to protect justice and righteousness. Hinduism, often considered a deeply spiritual and ancient tradition, has also celebrated the strength, wisdom, and dignity of women. While the role of women in the society has evolved over time, the sacred texts and historical narratives of Hinduism show that women have always been an integral part of the spiritual and social well-being. Furthermore, the Hindu mythology is rich with empowering stories of goddesses like Ma Durga, Ma Lakshmi, and Ma Saraswati that represent strength, wealth, and wisdom respectively. These goddesses are not just worshipped, they are seen as embodiments of the divine femininity, symbolizing power, creativity, and wisdom inherent in all women. Hindu festivals. I love them, we all love them, because they are an expression of devotion, unity, and embodiment of core values such as compassion, mercy, and tolerance. These festivals offer a time for us to self-reflect and practice kindness and love towards others, promoting harmony and social well-being. To name popular ones which might be known in the room, Diwali, Holi, Navratri, to name a few. In conclusion, the teachings of Hinduism are rooted in Sanatana Dharma, the eternal and universal truths which offer profound wisdom of tolerance, mercy, and compassion. These timeless values are not just confined to a particular era, culture, or society. They are eternal principles that guide us towards a way of life of harmony, righteousness, and spiritual fulfillment. Sanatan Dharma ki jai ho, Vishwa ka kalyan ho. For the benefit of wider group, the world is one family, and embracing its truth, we can make this a more kinder, a more loving, and definitely a more harmonious place for everyone. Namaste.